Is it logically possible for me to be the devil? First, for something to be logically possible just means that it doesn't contain a logical contradiction. For something to be logically necessary means that for it to not be so entails a contradiction. So, for example, it's logically necessary that everything that is a triangle has three sides, because if that were not so, then triangles would not have three sides. So if I said, I'm the devil, would that be a contradiction? If it's not a contradiction, then it's logically possible. What does it even mean if I say I'm the devil? What am I saying? It's possible that the devil is just a title or a pointer, like being the true heir of a country, like it refers to somebody who meets some criteria rather than one very specific person. And it's even possible to meet that criteria without realizing it. Maybe tomorrow morning somebody comes to my house and informs me that unbeknownst to me, I'm actually the true heir of some royal family somewhere. In that sense, it's possible that I could be the devil if I'm like the person who Hell designated to be the one who rules the underworld or deceive and cause the downfall of all mankind, or if I think that I used to be the devil, but then I had my memory wiped and somebody created the false memories that I think are my life up until this point. I don't know, I'm not even sure what the definition of the devil is exactly. Like, to an actually religious person, I'm not even sure what the properties of the devil need to be, other than that it's like something evil. I don't know. Let's imagine that it's instead a number of actual characteristics, like I need to actively be the ruler of hell, I need to have red skin and horns, I need to have a malicious nature. In that sense, could I be the devil? For you, that probably does seem logically possible because you don't know me to be the negation of any of those things. For you, Ivy is just a label for that person over there, that person on the internet, and I, for all you know, could be the devil in disguise as a normal person using the internet and calling myself Ivy, and that's not logically impossible. The name Ivy could just refer to somebody who turns out to be the devil. But something about that doesn't feel right because from my perspective, I know that I'm not those things. I'm not the devil, I'm me, I'm Ivy. I don't rule the underworld, I don't have red skin and horns, I don't have a malicious nature. For me, Ivy is not just a signpost that says that person over there, which could turn out to be anybody. It refers to the specific and unique pile of atoms that is me, and that pile doesn't have those qualities, doesn't have those features. The question is then, what if that pile of atoms did have those properties? And the problem is that I want to answer, well, then it would be a different pile of atoms. It wouldn't be me anymore. You can't just say Ivy, who is the devil. Ivy isn't the devil. That would be like saying a triangle with four sides. Because if it's the devil, it's not me. So it kind of just breaks down into how you understand personal identity, or really just identity in general. I don't know if there's proper language for different types of identity. I have like comp sci brain, so I want to think of it in terms of like pointers versus real objects. But if I have an address like the building on the corner of 3rd and Main, and I go there and I literally pick up and move the house that's there elsewhere, and I put down a different house in its place, then that new house is the building on the corner of 3rd and Main, because the building on the corner of 3rd and Main isn't attached to the building, it's attached to the location. So any building that we put there is going to be it. But am I like that? Is that me? Is the thing that I am just an indexed location, and anything that you put in the space that is me, me? I assume that people have different intuitions about this, because if you change some part of a person, is it a new person? Is it a different person? I think typically we say no. And I don't even just mean like if you cut my hair or if you cut my finger, then I'm still the same person. Obviously we're talking about like your mind more so than just like your external, like the body that you're in. I think if you do something to fuck with my personality, or like you take out a big chunk of my brain so that I seem like a different person, it's because I am a different person. I don't think that would be me. That would be like cutting the corners off a square and then asking, is it still a square? Well, no, you've altered it in such a way that now it's something else. Now it's an octagon. But then I think, shit, what about aging? Am I a different person from when I was younger? Like, am I Ivy today, but then I'm like, I'm a different Ivy tomorrow? I guess this is like the ultimate like bullet biting moment, because it does feel wrong. I guess there's like, maybe it's just because the change happens so gradually that it doesn't really feel like a real change. But if there was a vat of stuff, like if I fell into a magical chemical that did to my body and my mind all of the changes that would happen over the course of 10 years of aging, would I not be a different person when I come out of the vat? Like if it happened all at once? I don't think I would call that me, right? Or maybe I would, actually. Fuck, I don't know. There is another variation of this question where it's not the devil, it's just another person whom you know is real. So let's say Bill Gates. Am I Bill Gates? No. But is it logically possible for me to be Bill Gates? See, that's fucking weird, because how could I be Bill Gates if I'm also me? Like, how is that not a contradiction? It feels like it should be a contradiction. Like, unless I'm just wrong about myself, and it turns out that I secretly am Bill Gates, but you, like, erased my memory and gave me a bunch of false memories to think that I'm actually this other person named Ivy. But then would I be Ivy? Like, wouldn't it just mean that I'm not really Ivy, and that Ivy is like an imaginary person, a character that you just made up? You know, in Rick and Morty, that game they play, Roy? And then as you wake up and you kind of have that little moment after you come out of the game where you don't realize it immediately, you go like, oh god, what's going on? And you have to come back to reality and realize that you're not Roy, you're still you. Wouldn't that be like what's happening? Where if I turned out to be Bill Gates, I would have actually been Bill Gates this whole time and there is no person named Ivy? So would it really be true to say Ivy is Bill Gates? Maybe it would be. Like, if by Ivy we just mean the person that I happen to be, whoever that turns out to be. But I'm not the person I thought I was. I'm Bill Gates. I didn't actually do all of those things I remember Ivy doing. Those are false memories. That person isn't real. So, I don't know. Whatever. Fuck this.